Okay. Okay, this is group 2. So our topic for today's video is the nature and function of credit, chapter 7. Okay. Credit and the economy. So, when economic activities cannot be pursued vigorously because of lack of capital, the economic growth of any country will be limited. Credit is used heavily by even the most progressive nations. It appears that their respective economies cannot be sustained for long without the use of credit. Most of them even avail of opportunities for borrowing from the other countries. So, one of the most important to build a business now is the capital, right? So, if we don't have a capital to finance for our business, we can't do it, and we cannot help the unemployed to be employed. So ang capital, so ang what we say credit is kanang utang, pautang, right? Una siya. So even though they are progressive nation, but still they are borrowing from the other nation to sustain for long operation of their economy. Just like us, we borrow money to other nation to sustain our economy in the Philippines. And for example, like katong pag-pandemic, nanghulam ang Pilipinas og kwarta sa World Bank para matabangan ng mga poor and vulnerable household to provide financial relief o sa small and medium businesses sad. So money siya kanang ang World Bank daw is a international financial institution that provide loans, grants to the government of low and middle income countries for the purpose of pursuing capital project. So ang World Bank is just like as a middleman, though dili kayo ta kanang pobre jud kayo, dili jud kita pobre og dili pug kayo ta dato, narata sa middle. So naa dira ang World Bank nga motabang sa ingana na mga nasod. So ang World Bank is partnership with Philippines since 1945 daw. So next. Okay, di siya next. So what is credit? So credit may define the power or ability to obtain good or services in exchange for promise to pay for them later. So what as I've have said as I've said, credit is utang. So ang credit daw is power. So if makuha na nimo ang kwarta or imong utang, mapalit na nimo ang imong gusto or mabuhat na nimo og para asa na if accommodated ka ni creditor or ni lender. So si creditor or ni lender ang magpahulam og kwarta sa imo. Na si creditor or we also called it lender. So dili na credit for power mo na siya. Okay, next. Ay. So when a credit agreement is consummated, the amount involved will be recorded as an asset. So when a credit agreement is consummated, the amount involved will be recorded as asset on the balance sheet of the creditor and liability on the balance sheet of their debtor. So asset of creditor kay na naman siya kwaon sa imo in the future. So with the interest na no. While liability ni debtor kay na siya'y obligasyon na mubayad sa iyang giutang. Okay? So credit distinguished from debt. So credit refers to the power of person to obtain good or service without requirement of paying for them immediately upon delivery. So no need to pay it immediately upon delivery kay teka na og mga ways karon para magbayad or depende na sa inyong sabot ni creditor. Okay, simply credit refers to power while debts refers to obligation. When credit is availed of, the result is debt. So Credit distinguished from credit volume. A person who has credit card with a credit limit of 30,000 will not be able to use the card for credit purchase higher than 30,000. So of course, so if naay limit ang imong card nga 30,000, so di na po jud ka purchase og kanang mas dako-dako pa jud mo palit ka mas dako-dako pa jud sa 30,000 no, like mo palit ka og TV nga tag 50,000, right? Nya dili na jud nimo na magamit. Di jud na nimo kulangan jud ang imong kwarta sa credit card kay 30,000 raman ang pwede dira So dili jud ka purchase ana nga kanang item. There's 10 person with a credit limit each. So the measure of credit volume serves some purpose. When computed on a national scale, the national credit volume is an important data used in the formulation of monetary policies by the government. Okay, next. So, credit distinguished from wealth. So, naroon na siya na namali lang siya og kaning type distinguished na from wealth. Okay. Wealth refers to any materials or physical things that satisfy a human want to provide that it is limited in amount. So makita man jud nato ang usa ka tawo na dato or angat sa buhay o kaya niya masatisfy iyang mga needs ug wants or sobra-sobra pa. Maybe naa siya company and that company is growing or dako siya og assets. So naa kay kwarta daan mo provide or what we say na kay mga asset, daghan siya mga asset like which includes the following: residential building, motor car, farm equipment, books, watch, jewelry, or mga investments like that, diba? Kanang dato na jud ka. Credit, on the other hand, is a means by which one may acquire the right use of wealth. So while sa credit, gamiton na nimong kwarta para sa imong paglambo. It may use sa business or mag-invest ka. Sumuutang ka para pang business mo, pang lambo sa mo, para sa imong kaugalingon nga mudato ka. Like, ikuan mo sa investment, business, or kanang basta makakwarta ka, nga nakay profit ana. Okay. Magkakuha kag profit. Kay dili kay ang giutang nimo ikuan lang nimo kanang ipangsugal lang nimo. No, that's not good. Muutang ka kay para mudato ka. Okay? The next. Oh no, dili na ko dere. Next. That's all.
User of credit. Sa credit natay three types of borrower, which are the consumers, business, and the government. Consumers, household consumption is oftentimes made possible by purchase of goods and service on credit. Kani si consumers is kita ni. Yan ay mga example dere kung giunsa nato paggamit ang credit. Para sa aning sa house and lot. Kaning house and lot is pananglitan dili nimo kaya nga mo palit og balay nga kanang cash to cash jud is pwede nimo kaning hulug-hulugan, which is kung hulug-hulugan nimo naa jud siya interest, kaya di man siya matawag og credit kung wala interest. Kasi kung magpautang ka dapat naa jud tubo, kay kung walay tubo di na utang, hiram ra na siya. Then kaning example nga motor vehicle, kasi anong motor vehicle common sa to ang maglisod mo yung tag cash jud, pwede man punta mo kuan lang mo utang mo down lang tag mga naman sila minimum nga down payment. So pag utang kung cash nimo makales jud ka, pero kung utang halos mo times 2 siya kay naa siya interest. So ginana nila pagkuan ang credit. Aning household appliances, ani common kay ni sa ato ang household appliances kay para sa anang labi na sa mga bukid daghan kay magsuroy-suroy og mga appliances nga ang mga taga-bukid kay dili kaayo kuan knowledgeable about ang mga appliances. So mailad ra pud sila bisag halos gi times 3 na ang presyo sa ilang kuan kung appliances nga gipautang. Same ra po na diri sa educational service, travel, wedding expenses, clothing and jewelry. So diri sa business are users of credit in large and small amounts. It will be extremely difficult to find a business big or small without debts. So pati ang mga business na nagihapoy utang. Dili na mahimo nga wala sila utang bisag gamay ba na o dako nga utang. So, some kind of business avail of credit to finance the following. Haning number 1 is payroll. Haning sa payroll daghan gyapon tendency nga mangutang sila para sa payroll. Haning payroll is kung wala ko nagkamali is mao maning ginapasweldo sa mga tao, sa mga mga employee. Purchase of merchandise. Kaning purchase of merchandise is dili gyapon tanan business nga cash nila ang ilang mga product. Ang uban ana utang gihapon. Then construction of building and facilities. Kaning construction of building facilities kay nagapoy mga business nga labi na mga kaila nga mga para sa aning sa sun and gravel nga mga business. So ginautang gyapon na nila ang uban ana para makapatukod sila building nila. Purchase of equipment same ra gyapon para sa atong motor parehas ra gyapon nato nga utang ra gyapon. Refinancing of maturing debts. Kaning refinancing of maturing debts is mao ni pinaka-common kay sa atoa. Labi na sa akong mama kay para sa anang ang utang is mangutang sila para bayaran ang utang. Labi na ng arawan okay. Pag paminaw nila nga hapit na gamay na laga ng kulang ilang arawan para makaloan sila usab. Mangutang sila sa lain tao para bayad atong ilang arawan para makaloan na pud sila usab. Na ba wala gyap cycle ra ba tuyok ra ang ilang utang. Ang ilaharang giapas is mabag-o ilang utang. Mawala naman to ilang karaan nga utang so bag-o na pod. At least ni bag-o ilang utang. Then government. The government is one big institution that uses credit in big amounts. Borrowing made by the national government in 1998 from foreign sources. So kaning government is po kay nino. Mao ni pinakadakog kanang kaya muutang ang kaning government is mao ni ang kaya muutang ang pinakadagko nga amount. Borrowing are not only form of government's liabilities, however, other liabilities consist of unpaid obligation to constructors and suppliers, unpaid salaries and wages, rent, and others. Kani yung labi na yung mga gobyerno nato di sa Pilipinas. Nagautang na sila mga kapital, dagko kay nga kapital sa laing nasod para ipatukod na diri og mga building sa Pilipinas. So ang mahitabuan na is ang magbayad ana sa utang dili ang gobyerno lang kundi apil ta mga consumers. Kita tanan magbayad pinaagi sa mga taxes nato pinana. Then maura to ang sa akong report.
Kinds of credit. Consumer credit refers to credit given by shops, banks, and other financial institutions to consumers so that they can buy goods. So consumer credit, it allows consumers to buy goods or assets without having to pay for them in cash at the time of purchase. So there are four kinds of consumer credits: charge account, installment credit, revolving charge account, and personal loans. So, charge account is an arrangement which a customer has with a store to buy goods and to pay for them at a later date, usually when the invoice is sent at the end of the month. So, charge account means that you can still buy when you are short of cash and pay within a specified future period. Installment credit is an arrangement where the customer buy goods by paying a sum regularly each month. So, installment credit, a loan you make fixed payments towards over a set period of time. So, just like for example, sa card, di ba na may choices ang mga tao if magbayad ba sila weekly or monthly hantod sa maimpas silang ilang loan. So, ano siyang example sa installment credit. A revolving charge account is an arrangement where someone can purchase goods on credit at any time up to an agreed amount and continue to purchase on credit while still paying off the original credit grant. The arrangement can be also applied when borrowing from a bank. So, revolving charge account is a type of credit amount that provides a borrower with a maximum limit and allows for varying credit availability. So, revolving charge account is kanang kuan. Bisag naa pa kay utang nga ginabayaran is pwede na pud ka muutang og usab as long as maayo ka mo bayad. Personal loan, in which an individual borrows money for personal needs, including making investments in a company. Trade credit is a credit offered by a company when trading with another. Trade credit appears in the book of accounts of the creditor as a accounts or notes receivable, and the book of debtor they are entered as accounts or notes payable. So, trade credit is an arrangement between a seller and a buyer, where the seller allows the buyer to make purchases now and pay at a later date without an incurring interest charge. So, there are three instruments of trade credit: open book credit, and the trade acceptance, and a promissory note. Open book credit constitutes the bulk of trade credit. It is unsecured and permits the customer to pay for goods delivered to him in a specified number of days. So, open book credit, a financial arrangement between a lender and a borrower that allows the latter to access credit repeatedly up to a specific maximum limit. The trade acceptance, a time draft or bill exchange for the amount of a specific purchase drawn by the seller and the buyer, bearing the buyer acceptance and often noting the place of payment. A promissory note is an unconditional promise in writing made by one person to another, signed by the maker, engaging to pay on demand or at fixed or determinable future time, a sum certain in money to, or to the order of a specified person or to the bearer. So, a promissory note referred to as a note payable. So like sa una, di ba, kanang pagting exam nya wala tay kwarta. So mga tag promissory note dito sa PTA office. Bank credit. Bank refers to all types of lending granted by the banks to others or to one another. Among the types of loans availed of the borrowers from banks are commercial loans, real estate loans, agricultural loans, industrial loans, salary loans, and automotive loans. So banks where you can deposit or you can borrow money.
So this is the continuation of the kinds of credit. The number 4 is investment credit. Refers to the type of credit required by businesses and the government to finance the construction and operation of a certain projects. So investment credit, like mag-invest ka sa isa ka certain project. This is the type of credit required by businesses or in the government to the finance the construction or in the operation of a certain project. Like for example, like mag mag-invest ka sa isa ka certain project like sa agricultural, ikaw mag-provide sa ila og mga equipment or machinery. Or the other example is, for example, ako ang contractor sa eskwelahan sa Pangutusan Elementary School diri sa Nabunturan. Willing ko mag-invest because expected naman ang return on investment in capital asset after a good number of years. Kay ang government man ang mubayad nako. So next is the agricultural credit. Is a very important features of the Philippines economy. This because food production is a major activity of our nation. The need to produce more foods is made more urgent by the rapidly increasing population. So agricultural credit. So importante kay sa ato ang Philippines economy. Need na to mag-produce og more foods kay nag-rapidly increasing ang atong population. Kabalo pud ta na ang agricultural jud ang pinaka-importante sa ato kay dira nato ang ginapa natong mga foods ug mga other na kinahanglan nato pang adlaw-adlaw. And also, agricultural credit refers to loans used to finance the production and marketing of agricultural product. To provide funds in support of agriculture, the Agricultural Competitiveness Enhancement Funds or ECEF was created by the government in 1996. So, for example, sa isa ka like na nag-production or nagtanom og humay, like ikaw ang mag-produce or magpalit sa ilag mga equipment, machinery, fertilizer, mga chemicals and other nga kailangan nila. Mauna siya ang example sa agricultural credit. Next is export credit. Refers to credit extension provided to the foreign buyers of local goods. Even if a prepayments by the foreign buyers are preferred by exporters, credit extension is often requested by the buyers. So, from the word export, so mag-export tag mga product dito sa laing nasod or sa ibang bansa. So, nana siya yung mga various ways of extending credit to foreign buyers as follows. First is the letters of credit, documentary bills, and open accounts. So, the letters of credit is a document issued by a bank on behalf of a customers, the foreign buyers, authorizing payment to a supplier when the conditions specified the document are met. So, ang letters of credit is mauna siya ang letters from a bank guaranteeing or it is opened by a bank for a exporter. Here, the bank that has opened the letter of credit assume the responsibility to make the payment on presentation of the document specified in the letters of credit. So, ang exporter kay sigurado na mga madawat ang payment once ang document na tukoy sa letter of credits are presented. The next is the documentary bill. is a mode used by an exporter willing to ship the goods even before there is an assurance of payment. The instrument used is the bill of exchange or draft, so documentary bills. Muna siya ang bill of exchange that attached to the shipping document of a parcel of goods. Next is the open accounts, is method of extending credit to the foreign buyers wherein goods are sent and which bill letter a regular intervals. So open accounts. Ngunit siya ang transaction is a sale where the goods are shipped and delivered before the payments is due. Like kung ang product gani ma-export na or na-ship na padung sa ila, so ang the way na lang magbayad ang mga buyers is through the account. Next is public credit. This is the last kinds of credit. Refers to the loans extended to the government wherein the national, provincial, or municipal level. Borrowing by the government are used to finance operation when expected revenues are not sufficient to cover expenditures. So the public credits, the government use various means to avail of credit provided by the various sources. Like for example, like makabil sila credit like sa consists of bills, notes, and bonds.
Morning everyone, I am Teresita Verquez. I'm here to discuss the basis of credit. The usual requirements for credit approval are focused on whether or not the individual or institution requiring credit will be qualified to the standard set using the following criteria. So, number 1, character. So, it is important na kapag umutang ka or nagpapautang ka, mahalagang malaman mo ang kanyang pag-uugali. Kung makakabayad ba siya sa pera na kanyang inutang o hindi. Number 2, capacity. Capacity, kung may kapasidad ba siya na bayaran ang pera na kanyang kinuha o inutang sa isang kumpanya. Number 3, capital. Kung saan niya gagamitin ang pera na kanyang kinuha, ikakaangat ba niya ito o ikakasira o ikakasama ng kanyang buhay. Number 4, condition. Kung ano ang kondisyon ng kumpanya para mabayaran sa tamang petsa o buwan ang inutang na pera. Number 5, collateral. Mahalagang may garantiya ang isang negosyo lalo na kung pera ang pinag-uusapan. Dapat may collateral ito kapag hindi nakabayad sa tamang oras, buwan o petsa ang tao na umutang ng pera. Character as a basis of credit. When a character is used as a basis of credit, the lender wants to make sure of the borrower's honesty, responsibility, integrity, and consistency. These characteristics may be indicated in some ways which include following. So, kung ikaw isa ka mangutangay, nadyo kay responsibilidad sa imuhang giutangan, nabayaran nimo siya, dili ka magpabaya kung unsa imuhang giutang didto nga kwarta ug imuha jud na siyang bayaran sa sakto nga oras. So here is number 1, complains the legal action filed with the courts which provide clause to a person or a business firm honesty. Pag hindi nakabayad ang umutang, mahalagang may napag-usapan kayo o napirmahan kayo na may power of attorney para pag hindi siya nakabayad, may habol ka sa kanya. Number 2, past credit record with lenders. Mahalagang may record ang bawat miyembro ng lenders para may makikitang patunay pag nag-deny ang isang customer o nagkamali ang teller dito. Capacity as a basis of credit. As the lender must be convinced that the borrowed amount will paid back, the borrower's ability to pay must establish that ability called capacity and may be determined by using information on current expected income, existing debts, and current operating expenses of the borrower. So, kapag ikaw ang inutangan, kailangan isaulin ng iyong membro ang halaga ng pera na kanyang inutang. Kailangang mabalik ang perang para mapagkatiwalaan at kailangan mo ring malaman ang income at expenses ng nangungutang para malaman kung makakabayad ba ito o hindi. Capital as a basis of credit. A borrower's capital may be used as a source of fund to pay debts. Hindi the borrower's capacity is impaired, capital is computed by deducting liabilities from asset. So, ang inutang na pera ay maaring ipangbayad sa mga pinag-uutangan at ang mga umutang ay walang kakayahan na makapagbayad, agad maaring bawasan ito sa pamamagitan sa pagdidak ng liabilities from asset. Collateral is available asset pledge against loan, which will be forfeited if the loan is not repaid or which will be returned intact upon loan payment. Ang collateral is garantiya or mahalaga kapag ikaw ay nag-loan na mabayaran mo ang iyong inutang na pera, hindi man sa tinakdang buwan o araw na ibinigay, pero sa tinakdang araw o buwan na ipinapalugit sa iyo ng kampanya na inutangan mo. Last is the condition as a basis credit. The creditor may determine the prospective borrower has the capacity to pay his debt. Ang nagpapautang ay makakakita ng gustong kumuha ng pera na may kapasidad na makabayad sa kanyang inutang. This capacity, however, may be seriously impaired when negative develop in the economy appear. So, ang capacity mahimong delikado ug makaabot sa negatibo nga panghitabo sa isa ka ekonomiya. It is already widely known that certain economic and business pursuit can only be successful under favorable condition. Nakahibalot naman tatanan na ang ekonomiya kay ang hangarin nila is mas-successful ang isa ka business para dagan ang mga tawo nga makatrabaho sa ilahang negosyo og makatabang pud kini sa atoa.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am the last reporter for this lesson, and my topics is sources of credit information. There are sources of credit information. Number 1 is interview with the applicant. Second is credit rating agencies. Third is lender's own record. Fourth is financial statement. Interview with the applicant. The following information may be derived: the history and the growth the applicant's business. So, isa ni sa mga possible nga i-interview sa aplikante ang history and growth ug naunsa nimo ni pagpalambo imong business mo ni ang ipangutan na jud ang history and growth. Second is the background of the key personnel of the business. So, pangutan-on pod unsa ang kaning background sa key personnel. Tapos the nature of the products and services handled. Kung unsa ang nature ani nga products or services nga gihandle. Tapos sources of raw materials or stock of merchandise. Kung asa ka gakuha, kung unsa imong mga kung asa ka gakuha sa imong mga raw materials or stock ani mga sources nimo. Dayon competitive position of the business and plan for the future. competitive position kung unsay imong competitive advantage among others o plano nimo sa imong future. Mao ni ang possible nga i-interview sa mga aplikante ani nga business. So, credit ratings agencies. A credit rating agency is a company which report on the creditworthiness of customers to show whether they should be allowed credit. In the Philippines, there are agencies which provide credit information parties. So, kining credit agency is company ni siya nga ga-report sa mga creditors if ang aplikante ba is pwede ba i-allowed nga pwede ba sila pa-apilon ani. So diri sa Pilipinas na ang mga agencies diri is Nancy, a firm which sells credit information service with office at VW Castillo Building, Pasay City. So kaning Nancy is kuan ni siya kung unsa man ang mga information nga nasa ila is ginabaligya nila sa mga kuan like mga ginabaligya nila sa mga creditor. So, BAP, Credit Bureau Incorporation, a firm established the Bankers Association of the Philippines to facilitate the exchange of credit information among member banks. So, ang BAP Credit Bureau Incorporation, kanisad nga company is kanang ginapabaylohan nila ang mga information nila among member banks. Ang ilahang i-report ilahang ginapabayloan. Next is lenders own recorders. Providers of credit must have records of their good customers. These records will serve as a handy source of credit information whenever they are needed. So, lenders own record. Every lenders na jud dapat sila'y mga record sa customers kay example naing mga kanang labad nga dili mo bayad naa sila'y information ato na tao pwede ra nga madali-dali og dali ra nila makitaan or dili nakamahasol nga mangita kay naa naman kay information about sa ila. So, need jud og kanang ang lenders napud sila'y own record sa ilang customer. So, financial statements. Financial statements consisting of the balance sheet and the income statements are very useful sources of credit information. Financial statements are documents indicating the financial condition of any enterprise or individual. Financial statement. So, kani siya mga balance sheet ug income statement. Isa pud ni sa sources of credit information kay diri man makit-an na imong performance sa imong company if capable ba nga makabayad. So, mo to siya ang upat ka sources of credit information. Mo lang to. Salamat.